This man was very confident. After just buying a new car, he accelerated down the street. At the same time, a little boy was about to be run over. Jack appeared just in time and saved the boy, but he himself was hit by the car. Those who knew Jack knew that with just one command, he could summon 2,000 subordinates. Two people who didn't know Jack stole his wallet. Jack immediately pinned them against the wall. Jack really enjoyed spending time with the class president, but every time, she would beat him up. To Jack, school was just a place for fighting. Despite teachers constantly telling Jack not to do so, he was too rebellious. When Jack returned home after school, his mother had just woken up. Mary, looking at her rebellious son, scolded him angrily. Jack, equally upset, stormed out of the house. He walked down the street, kicking a can to vent his frustration. Suddenly, a few people appeared and surrounded him. They were Jack's enemies. Mike wanted to replace Jack's position at school, but Jack wasn't someone to be easily bullied. Now that Jack had nowhere else to vent, he wasted no time and immediately threw a punch at Mike, followed by a knee strike and a flying kick. Mike was pinned to the ground and beaten, and eventually, Mike was thrown away by Jack. Mike's subordinates were terrified upon seeing this. They rushed to try and convince Mike to stop. Mike had been defeated by Jack 156 times, never winning once. Now, Mike had been seriously injured, but he still wanted to continue fighting. But Jack also had a kind side. When he saw a little boy kicking a ball in the street, he would teach him not to do such dangerous things while making funny faces to cheer him up. But the little boy didn't listen to Jack's words. Then, when the little boy was about to be hit by a car, Jack saved him. However, Jack didn't die. His soul left his body. At that moment, a guide from the afterlife appeared. Her name was Jenny. She told Jack that even if he hadn't saved the little boy, he would have been fine. But now that he had, Jenny didn't want Jack to die. So, the afterlife gave Jack a chance to come back to life. However, Jack said that no one would care if someone like him was alive. Jenny told Jack to watch his own funeral before making his decision. That night, Jack's classmates came to his funeral, but they were all happy, with only the class president crying. There was one other person who was very emotional, Mike. He came to Jack's body and yelled at it, saying that Jack couldn't die until he had defeated him. Mike then started crying. Two teachers from the school were happy to see Jack dead, but the teacher who had been teaching Jack all along came and grabbed them by their collars, warning them. She felt that Jack was actually a kind-hearted child. At the same time, Mary, who had been indifferent, couldn't help but cry. The little boy who had been saved, along with his mother, came to pay their respects. When Jack saw everyone looking so sad, he agreed to the resurrection trial. Jack had thought that the king of hell would be a fierce person, but when he saw him, he discovered that the king was actually a child sucking on a pacifier. The king of hell gave Jack an egg. The resurrection trial was to hatch the egg. If Jack failed, the demon that emerged from the egg would eat him. If he succeeded, he would be resurrected. But the most important thing right now was Jack's body, because it was going to be cremated the next day. Jack, as a ghost, could only communicate through dreams. The first person he thought of was his mother, but she had just drunk 3 bottles of vodka and couldn't distinguish between dreams and reality, so no one would believe her. Then Jack suddenly thought of the class president. When Jack found Carly, he saw that she was dreaming but was crying. Her mouth kept saying Jack's name. Jack decided to enter Carly's dream and told her to protect his body and that he would come back to life. Suddenly, Carly woke up. Although it was just a dream, she felt it was incredibly real. The next morning, Carly went to Jack's house, but his mother was still drunk. She told Carly that she had dreamed about Jack. Carly thought she was just missing Jack too much, but now she had no way to save him. Jenny came up with a plan to possess someone else's body and relay the message to Carly, but the person had to have strong spiritual sensitivity. Jack thought of Mike, since everyone knew that Mike was not ordinary. At the age of 3, he could sense sleep